Hi, I'm Rick Conlow. I'm glad you're here. Welcome, and I really mean that. We're going to talk about 5 crucial coaching opportunities for leadership success. And quite frankly, I think coaching is the secret sauce to leadership success. Why do I say that? Because not many managers are good at coaching. They think they're coaching, but they're telling. And employees are begging for it. They really want the help. Now, you know, the great example about coaching is in the Olympics. Think about this for a minute. In the Olympics, we have athletes who try out for their country's Olympic teams, and they're the best of the best in their country. And then they go to the Olympics to compete against the best of the best in the world to win the medals, to represent their country. What do they all have in common, all these athletes? They have a coach. I don't know if you knew this or not, but Olympic athletes practice and are coached 10,000 hours to prepare for the game. Usually they do that 4 years, so that's 2,500 hours a year. That's a full-time job at 40 hours a week. That's what they do. It's amazing. Now you think about the workplace. I mean, stick with me on this one now. See if you agree with me. In the workplace, Accenture did a study that showed that only 21% of employees in the last 5 years had attended a company training program. Now, if we did the same study on coaching, we'd find it was probably even less than that. In other words, we're not training them and we're not coaching them. So what happens? People aren't doing their best. Can they do their best without coaching? Very few people. Just like Olympic athletes, they reach a new level of effectiveness with somebody who's trained and understand the coaching process to help them focus on their strengths and leverage those, and then work on the weaknesses so they get better. And then to do that consistently, persistently, relentlessly. That's what we need done. That's how we get to be better at what we do. And so I've seen manager after manager don't do the best they can, miss career opportunities, promotions, and advancement because they don't know how to coach or they don't believe in it. Likewise, I've seen those who learn it and accelerate their career because of it. You have that same opportunity. I'm going to zero in on 4 key things. Just remember this. Most managers in the workplace today, 50 to 67% of them, according to research, fail. And that nearly 9 out of 10 employees worldwide are disengaged. In other words, they don't like being there. You become a great coach. You turn that all around. First, you're a better leader, and then you help your people better. And then guess what? They perform better, and they're engaged. They're excited. They're motivated. That's what you want, isn't it? So there are 5 key opportunities. Look at these pictures real quickly, though. What do you see here? What's the first thing you see? And then, did you see the girl's face and a musician? Sometimes we'll see one thing and not the other. Why do I bring that up? Because sometimes we hear what we want to hear. We see what we want to hear. We think we're doing well, but we're missing a key component like coaching, and we're not as effective as we could be. We need somebody to point it out, like I'm pointing it out here. What do you see here? Look at this one. Look at the next one. Okay? You see a face? And I was in a group, we did this, and someone shouted as loud as he could, "Liar! It's a liar!" He goes, some people are a little crazy, but there's 2 different ways to look at it. Again, we need things point out. So I just want to emphasize that if we're going to be better coaches, I don't care how many years experience you have, 3 months as a leader or 13 years, it doesn't matter. There's a way to get better. Let's dig in now. Let's take a look at these. Here are the 5 key, I call them superstar opportunities to improve your coaching performance and the effectiveness of your people. First is beginning of the month, and I'll come back to each of these. Second, middle of the month. Third, any day of the month. Fourth, last week of the month. And then fifth, last few days of the month. Now, why do I say that? Because companies work on a monthly basis in terms of their sales, their revenue, their profit, and their budget, and a quarterly basis. So we want to make sure we're achieving our goals. So what we do as a leader is we have to be aware. There's a joke about managers that I heard in an employee engagement survey recently that we did in an organization, and the comment was by the employee, "You can never find a manager when you need one." And then he went, ... and I don't need one. We got to get engaged. I think a lot of leaders today are what's called passive leaders. They manage their business hiding behind business intelligence reports. That's kind of a key word today. Or they do everything by email and text. And that's how they're going to communicate with everybody. I was listening in on phone calls in a call center one time, and the texts are going like crazy, and one employee popped up and yelled at the manager, "You could have come over and said hello," because they were just a couple cubicles down. We miss some of that. Okay? And then they hide behind the data and the analytics they do. Great leadership is an emotional process. It's personal. Now, I'm not talking about digging into people's personal lives, but I'm talking about workplace personal. Our relationship, is it constructive? It is positive? Is it built on respect and dignity? And that will help bring out the best in others. So back to these coaching opportunities. Beginning of the month. Everybody needs to be reminded, what are our goals? What's our plan for this month? How are we going to do? A lot of companies do strategic planning, spend a lot of time in it in October, November, December. Come the new year, they get a little binder and they put it on a shelf, never look at it again. What I'm talking about is we do better than that. So in the beginning of the month, we remind our team and we review with our team what our goals and our plans are. In the middle of the month, we're checking how we do it. Now, you don't have to, spend hours and hours doing these things, but you got to invest the time, both as a team and then one-on-one. And so then you ask, how we do in the middle of the month? Are we on track for what we need to do? Any changes? Are we? Praise and recognition. If we aren't, we talk about it and problem solve together. And then any given day of the month. Now, what that does that mean is we need to know what our teams are doing. What are our people doing? How's things going? We got to have eyes and ears open and pay attention. We'll learn a lot. Communicate on an ongoing basis. Doesn't mean you're looking over people's shoulders. I have people say, "Rick, this sounds like micromanagement." No, it isn't. It's a leadership engagement in a positive, constructive way. And in the last week of the month, are we on track this last week? Are we going to reach our goals? It doesn't matter if you're in sales, customer service, IT, the office. It doesn't matter what department you're in. We just need to pay attention to this, and we need to look at the reports and the numbers and be able to track what we do. And then the last few days of the month, I had one manager tell me, "Rick, hey, we're not going to get to our goals the last week of the month here, so we're going to wait till next month." Well, you know what that does? That sends a message to your team that mediocrity is okay. I don't know about you. I don't want mediocrity. So what I need to do is make sure we're still working hard to try to do a better job and close out the month or whatever time period you're in. This is not micromanagement. See, leadership is a high contact sport. And what we've done in business today is made it low contact by all the tools that are available out there, whether it's the cell phone or it's social media or it's company have portals and things like that, and so we lose the personal contact. Talk to somebody on the phone if you can, if you're separated by distance. See them in person rather than sending another email. Everybody gets too many of those. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. And here's the thing: you'll differentiate yourself from other leaders because they're not doing this. And their results aren't that good. You will achieve the breakthrough performance. You see a picture here of Mark, superstar. He's the guy second from the right. And Mark was one of those leaders, he just wanted to manage by the numbers and get it done. Well, here he is with his supervisory team, and he's winning awards. Notice his team is holding the awards, not him. That's by design. He gives them the praise. And I coached him and worked with him, and he found a way to do that, and he excelled in service. All the metrics where he had the best customer service team and in the sales that went with it. So it can be done. We can change. We can get better. So can you. The opportunity is there if you dig in. This information I'm sharing with you comes from our book, Superstar Leadership, and our Superstar Leadership model about all the key things. Notice in the 10 circles there that coaching is the biggest one. Coaching ties it all together. Hey, I hope you'll remember this. Review those 5 steps, and it'll make a difference with you and your team. I have this dream that soars on golden wings, and I visualize your achievements and your legacy that sings. I do not know all about your awesome goals or your persistent efforts to raise the bar. I only know that you can be the best, if not a superstar. Thanks for coming.